Well, hello there, and welcome to hopefully a couple of tips for you out there to make yourself look in a picture, that make the picture look a bit more realistic. This isn't about green screening or blue screening, how to do that, because there's plenty of tutorials out there for that. It's just to make the picture look a bit more realistic, because what's worse about the picture is it's a flat thing and it's dead, and you try and make it look alive if you can. That's the trick. And I do quite a few videos, at least I have done, on the old Star Trek. And the worst thing about that is they didn't have a lot of pictures around that were very good quality. And that's number one. You want to find the best quality picture before you do anything. If it's not a very good quality picture, it's not going to look anything. So you want the best quality you can. Now here's one I've got here. And this is from the Star Trek old series, of course, but this is from the new sets that they made up. That's why the picture is not too bad a quality, and I want to thank them for me being able to get a picture like this. And it's not bad quality, not great, but not bad. Now this is the obviously the bridge of the old Star Trek, and the picture is not bad itself. The colouring is not too bad and everything. And so this is, well, let's move it along here. I want to tell you that I'm not great at tutorials, by the way. That's not really a tutorial, just a sort of just to share my thing. So anyway, so there's the picture that we've got there. And now, so what I've done is I've zoomed in a little bit and I've made a few adjustments. And the adjustments I've made are, if you take a look, I've changed the pictures up here, right? I've taken the glare off these glass here. I've put some switches in here. They do have switches, but they're not there. You can't see them, so it's nice to have a few switches. They all do. I put a little bit of a glow around this thing here. And I've also done something else, and if you might be able to see it, if I move it up back and forth a bit, you can see that the screens are flickering a little bit. Okay, so I've got the screens, all these screens to flicker, this one, and this to flicker a little bit, and I've even got the switches down here. If you take a look, you might just be able to see them flicker, right? So straight away you've got something that's trying to be alive. I mean, I've got this flickering here, this light's flickering, but not too much, just a little bit, just to give it the sort of thing that it's working, it's moving or something. So now this is the scene I'm going to use. So where would you want to put yourself? Well, I guess you would want to be in the captain's seat, wouldn't you? Now when you're filming green screen and you're going to put yourself in a picture, take a look at the picture, the angle of the shot, and try and get your camera and you sitting about the same angle. You're going to have to test it quite a few times to get it right, because if you're a little bit out, it will make a big difference. And I'm going to use one I did before that wasn't for this scene, so I am a little bit out, but you'll get the idea what I mean. The most important thing is to get the angle right, and keep testing it until you get the right angle, and then kind of mark it somehow, and because where you're looking is very important as well. If you're going to be interacting with somebody else, you need to be looking in the right direction as well. These are important things that try to sell it. Everybody knows it's not real. I mean, I just use a green screen and very small area, and so I don't have a studio or anything, or a ship. So I have to use pictures, so I got to do the best you can, right? So anyway, let's get me in there. Let's move me in there. Okay, so there I am there, and as you can see, I am on slightly the wrong angle, right? Now you can't change the picture, but you can change yourself. So I need to refilm this by sitting a little bit more to the left on an angle, because you can see I'm not the same angle as the chair. So that's important. If you get that, once you get that right, then you're all right. But what's wrong with this picture? Well, I'm sitting on top of the picture, really. So why does it look like that? Well, this arm needs to be, and by the way, the programs I use is at the moment is Premiere Pro, After Effects and Photoshop. I have used DaVinci, which is very good, but I'm using After Effects and Premiere Pro at the moment. And so yeah, you need to get into Photoshop and cut that chair piece that's going to be on top of you out. Right, now I've already done that, so here's the chair here, so let's put it out here so you can see it. Like I say, let's move these over there. There. Now what I've done is I did that, I put it into After Effects and I rendered it out because the lights on the, if you see the lights on the arm are there, that's what you need. You need the lights to go with it, otherwise it's just going to be a dead picture again. So I've got it all cut out, and this is what they call an alpha channel. So you render it out in After Effects in an alpha channel, which means all this is transparent and only has this. Now there's two things to be aware of when you're doing the alpha channel, and that is, one, it's a very big file, so make sure you've got plenty of room if you're going to do quite a few of them. And also that's what I've done with me as well. I was an alpha channel as well, okay, and they're rather big files. Now also be aware that if you put any effects or anything in there, that alpha channel sometimes doesn't always look the same. It looks different, such as shadows and things like that. Shadows are not as strong or something, so just be aware to check that. Right, so anyway, I've rendered this out, this arm, so now we got me. Right, we'll turn me on, and now we'll move the arm in on top, and that looks better already. You see the arm. Like I say, I'm on the wrong angle, but this was for another chair, but yeah, this will do for now for you people to understand. Right, so therefore I've got myself sitting in the chair, sort of wrong angle, but never mind. So that looks better already. So now I'm in the bridge. Well, sort of in the bridge. So what else can we do to make this picture more realistic? We've got these flashing, that glowing, these lights here glowing, because it all adds to it. So let's assume, see the up here. Okay, so now I've got this that I've rendered out in alpha channel as well. If you take a look, right, that is for an alarm. Normally I do it in After Effects and render the whole thing out, but I'm doing it this way to be able to show you piece by piece. Alright, so we put that on top, and now we have a red alarm. Now that light isn't the best actually, but because the alpha channel didn't come out very well on that, but there's something you got to be aware of. But now we've got an alarm going, which makes the picture more alive than it was before. So what other things can we do? Well, let's see. This picture came without lift doors, so I found some lift doors that actually fitted there, and I've adjusted them. I won't go into all that and that because that takes an awful lot of work, but I've got some lift doors, so let's put the lift doors in. And also be aware that these layers where you've got here, you have to be careful where they are. They're on top of each other or whatever. You have to get them right, otherwise it won't work. Right, so I'm going to put the doors on. Is it the doors I put on there? Yeah, we got the doors somewhere. Lift doors, they're there. Okay, so there's the lift doors. Now I've got them closing and opening as well, by the way. Very difficult, but so anyway, I'll put the doors on and let's see if that looks all right. So let's remove me and see what happens. Now the doors are wrong, as you can see. The doors are on top of the wrong place there. Right, now how do we fix that? Because you may get away with it, but you may not, especially if you want to use the doors or something. So you have to basically you have to cut all these railings out in Photoshop, right? And the chair, having the spaces here and here and here, so you've just got the railings like this, okay? And I've rendered that out as well, and I believe the lights aren't working on that one, so they'll be underneath. That'll be all right. So that's what you need. Now where do we put that? Well, let's put it somewhere here and put it on and see if that looks okay. Turn me back on, and now, so the railings are underneath me, right? And is that going to work? Let's see. Now let's do the closing of the doors. opening and closing of the doors. There you see. Now that looks okay, and if I'm in there, it still looks okay, right? Now the doors were done exactly the same sort of way. If you take a look at the doors here, they were done in After Effects and rendered out as like that. Now that took a lot of work to do, but it will make it a better scene all round. Right, so there's the doors. Now what we need now is somebody to be in the lift. And I've got Spark here. Well, when I played Spark on one of my things. And once again, he's not made for this, so he's not moving. So I'll put him in anyway. And then there's Mr. Spark now. So now he has to be, if you look down here in the layer system, which is very important, there's the lift doors. So he has to be behind the lift doors, which makes him behind the lift doors. When the door opens and he comes out, then he has to be on top of the lift doors so that he doesn't actually go behind them. So I've used a split layer there, just split the layer there and moved it up. This is how it works, right? So the door is open. There's a red alarm going on now. The door is open. Mr. Spock comes out. As you can see, he wasn't meant for this. That's why he's shifting out the way he is. But he comes out, and there he is. He's looking around. They've got some silly Christmas hat lights on, but that's on my channel, by the way, that one. And you can have a look at it if you wish. So yeah, so there he is. So he can actually talk to the captain or whatever, and he looks reasonably okay. Right, so that's the scene basically. Right, but it took a lot to get that prepared. Right, I mean, you had to have this alarm, you know, you had to have the chair arm, this thing here, me of course, which is I'm the wrong angle. You had to have the chair and the railings, and Mr. Spock had to be split. The doors were there, and then of course the bridge. But now I'll render this out and I'll put some sound effects in, and you can have a look at it and see. And if you need any other information or anything else, just put it in the comments below and I'll help you out as best I can, because I'm not great at these tutorial things. But I'll get back to you in a minute with the I'm going to obviously render it, take a bit, and I'll get back to you and show you how it looks with a bit of sound effects. Okay, so I've got it rendered out here, so let's take a look and see what it's like with some sound effects. So hopefully you can hear the sounds. I'm not sure. That's a crazy man singing away there. I love the way Mr. Spock slides out there. Very nice. Okay, so there you see the scene with the sound effects. There's not much else you can do with that sort of picture to make it any better than it is, to try and fool people or make it more realistic. That's the best I can do anyway. Of course you can add a little bit of camera shake to the whole picture, a little bit, just as if there's a movement going on as the ship's traveling or something. But you might even put something up there and make those lights flicker up there, I don't know. But it does take an awful long time to make it look reasonable. But it doesn't look too bad, I think. And you know, if you were drunk, it would be possible. And so, and like I say, any other things you'd like to know or any help you might need, let me know in the comments below and I'll certainly get back to you. Okay, take it easy now, and you be good now.